Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. And today we're actually going to be doing something a little different than normal. As you can see, I am not in Roblox Studio, but I'm actually in my Python program. Today I will be showing you guys how to make a really simple calculator in Python, and this calculator is pretty limited. You can only calculate 2 numbers, but it can calculate all of the main things like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and exponents. So let's get into this. The first thing you need to do is have a Python program, whether it be Spider like I'm using, or maybe you have downloaded Python and use an IDE. I personally recommend using Spider because with an IDE, it doesn't come with an output. You will need to use your computer's terminal for that. And to do that, you have to set it up and connect it to your Python so it'll actually work as an output. So once you have this, the first thing you want to do to make your calculator is, you don't have to do this, but I like doing it, is basically print a multi-lined text. If you don't know how to do this, you just have to write print like you would in Lua, and then you do parentheses, and inside that you do 3 quotes and then 3 quotes. You can do these 3 with single quotes or double quotes. It doesn't really matter. So once you do this, I just like to say what it does. So a simple calculator only calculates 2 numbers. So if I run this, it would say a simple calculator only runs 2 numbers. Now let's get into the actual code. So the first thing you want to do is get a new line, obviously enter, and make a function which basically defines adding. In Python, to create a function, you'd write def, which basically is short for define, and then whatever you want to name it. So I'd go add. And then you do your parameters. I'm going to write x, comma, y. And then we have to do a colon showing that after this, we're going to have our lines of code. Enter, and you should indent, and then you'd write your code, and when you're done, you unindent on the next line. So in this function, you'd write return x plus y. So it basically takes these 2 numbers, x and y, and adds them. And then we unindent, and I like to leave a space, and then we make our next function for subtract, and we'll go on doing the same thing for subtraction, multiplication, division, and exponents. And I will be right back after I finish that. Okay guys, I'm back, and once you did this, your code should look like this. So it's basically the same thing as your function for adding, but you change this symbol for the next operation. So just if you don't know, subtraction would be the dash, which would be this. Multiplication would be an asterisk, which is this. Division would be a slash, and exponents would be 2 asterisks, so it would look like this. Now, once we've finished making our function, we'll just do an input, which is like select your operation. We've really done the actual calculating now, and we're going to be printing things and calling the functions later. First thing we're going to do is make a variable called operation. So I'll go operation equals, and then string str, parentheses, and in that we'll go input, and another parentheses, which is basically saying we have this input that we want, but it must be a string. So basically this converts it to a string. Now, in between these parentheses for input, we'll have 2 quotes, 2 quotation marks, and write, please select your operation. But for this, we want to have a multi-lined, text, so when it prints, it'll show things like under each other. So I'm just going to quickly fix one thing here so it doesn't look indented. So we're going to add 2 quotes here, and bam. Now we'll go all the way here. And if you write it like this, it'll print out like this. It'll have an indent. So to fix that, you basically just want to go over here, shift, and then left arrow key, and highlight all this space. Leave 1, just in case, and then delete that space. Now you just write the thing. So I'll just put an addition sign, and then I'll say in parentheses addition, in case people don't know. Then here I'll do subtraction sign, and then alright, subtraction. And if you're wondering why I'm writing the symbols and then the operation name instead of just writing the operation name, the answer to that would be, first, it's a lot easier to just type out the symbol name instead of having to write addition. And second, we're gonna have to have an if statement figuring out what they selected, addition, subtraction. And in that, honestly, it would be kind of hard to just write, actually, we're not going to have an if statement, we're going to have a while loop. But it'll be really hard to write while operation not in addition, subtraction, division. We can just do their symbols, which would be a lot easier for us while coding and for the user while typing in. So that is why we're using the symbols. And we're just writing addition, and so just to refresh the user's mind that, like, okay, this is addition, this is subtraction. Yeah, that's the reason. So I'm just going to go on with this. Multiplication. Division. And lastly, exponents. So now that we did this, if we were to run it, it'll ask us, it'll say a simple calculator only calculates 2 numbers, and it'll say please select your operation. And it lets us type here. So it's not gonna do anything right now, but I'm just gonna show you that it'll work. So I can type in addition, enter, and nothing will happen, but you can see we're able to write this. It might be annoying though that you have to write whatever you're typing right next to the last character. A way to solve this so they can write in a space and not like in the same word as the last character's word is right before the last set of quotes, just type one space. So the user would be typing in this space that you've left them. As whenever they type in an input, they type like exactly in the last space before the quote. So if there is no space, it'll just type right before the quotes. Therefore, here, it's right there, like it's in the same word as this exponent. So now that I've added this space, when I run again, it gives us this space that I can type. Now, the next thing we do is our while loop. So we're gonna write while, and then operation, which is basically referring to the variable operation. Then we're gonna write not in, so it's basically saying while it's not in this, we are going to write invalid input. So while operation is not in, space, parentheses, and then we're gonna write our operation symbols. So it should look like this. This is basically saying that while operation is not in this, whatever we put next will run. So I'm gonna press enter, make sure there's an indent, and now I'm gonna write str and then input like I did over here. So str parentheses, then I'm gonna write input more parentheses, quote, but I'm gonna be saying something and then copying this, so we want multi-lined quotes. So I'm gonna do another set. So one, just making sure, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I have 6, 3 for each side. I'm gonna go invalid input, and then I'm just gonna go and copy this so I don't have to go through the pain of writing it over again. So now that we've got this, we're gonna do our number selecting. So we're gonna go and we're gonna make our variable called num1. So I'm gonna go num1 equal to float, which is any number. Basically, integers and floats all have a limit, but that's really high and that won't really matter to us at this point. A float is mainly used for decimals, as integers can only use like whole numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4. While floats can use those numbers and decimals. So it's good to use floats for calculator, so if an error doesn't pop up when they input a decimal if you only make it an int. So we're gonna go float, and then input, and then we're gonna write our parentheses and quotes and say enter your first number. And then I'm going to write a colon and space so they have their space to write in. And now, since we have exponents, normally when you calculate exponents, you have your number and then another number you're doing to the power of. Like 2 to the power of 3 would be 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So instead of having, when we choose exponent, the second number still says, and enter your second number, we're going to have an if statement under here. So we're going to write if operation equal to, just like in Lua, equal to quotes, and then double asterisk for exponents. So if operation equals to exponents, colon, num2 equals to float input to the power of. But else, if it's not, if operation is not equal to, if it's not equal to exponents, then we'll write the same thing, so we can just copy this but we're going to change the text here. So over here we're going to just write enter your second number. So now that we've got that, we're going to do our actual like printing the statements thing. So we're going to have actually another if statement. So we're going to write real quick if operation equal to addition, then colon print parentheses str parentheses num1 plus, and then we're going to quotes and then a plus sign addition, but we're going to have spaces here, so there's actually a space between our num1 and num2. Then we're going to write over here str num2, and then we're going to write, actually over here we have to have another addition sign to say we're adding this variable in. And then we're going to have one here, plus equal to, and equals, actually take away this equal to, I don't know why I typed that, equal to, and then we're going to add a string, and it's going to say add, which is calling our function add, but not xy. We're going to have it add num1 and num2. So it's basically taking this over here and replacing x and y with num1 and num2. So it's taking this 2 and replacing x and y with num1 and num2. So it's calculating our number. And when we do this, it'll print out the number calculated. So I'm just gonna do this and write an addition sign. I'll do 1 and then 1. So it'll write 2. Hold on, I just forgot to do this. And so it writes out 2. It'll say 2.0 because we used a float, which is usually decimals, but that's a whole number too, so it doesn't really make a difference. Now, we're going to be doing this for every operation using Alif, which is basically when you're having an if statement, but you have more than one condition. Like, it's not just like if, using Lua, if script.parent.anchored equals to true, then blah blah blah, else, turn it to true. But we have more than one thing to do. We're going to use Alif, which is basically the same thing as if, but it's not if. So we're going to enter, delete the indent, and write Alif. And then we have to write operation equal to, this time, subtraction. And one more thing here. I'm not sure if you have to do this, but usually I put a space between these pluses. I guess it looks better to me, so I'm just going to have you do that too. So if operation equals to subtraction, then we're going to write print str string num1, and then we're going to add into our print, we're going to add a subtraction sign, then we're going to go plus str string num2 plus quotes equal to, then plus str subtract x and y, but then change xy to num1, comma num2. And I'm gonna do this for all of our existing operations we put, and I'll be right back with you after that. Okay everyone, I'm back, and as you can see, I have done the operation thing for all our other operations. But here, if we go down to line 47, or actually 46, you can see instead of doing Alif, I did an else. And the reason for this is we already can't do anything other than our addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponent. So the only other thing we allow the user to put is exponent. So it really saves us a lot of time by doing else instead of Alif operation equal to double asterisk or exponents. It really saves time to just write else. And then you can just take a look at what I did. My Alif operation equal to division. Oops, I think I might have missed one. I might have missed multiplication. You saw nothing. You saw nothing. It's right there. I don't know what I said. I missed it. It's right here. So anyways, you can take a look at my code. I did Alif operation equal to asterisk multiplication. I did print string 1 and string and then num1 and then adding an asterisk to it. Here, 1 second. Let me just add these spaces. And then I added my another addition symbol to add in my variable num2, and then another addition symbol to add in my equal sign. Let me just put these spaces, and then I have my function to multiply it, and I did the same thing for division, except obviously changing the respective things to division and exponent. So if we were to run, I can use any of them. I'll run it with every single operation we have. You've already seen me use addition, so I'll go with subtraction. Enter my first number. Let's go with 50, 25. We got 50, and then it prints out 50 minus 25 equal to 25. And as you know, 25 plus 25 equals 50. And if another thing to note that you can write clear to clear out your output, so that's good. And to even test out that subtraction thing we did, I will add 25 plus 25. So let me get addition in. And as you can see, 50. Oh man, what's Claire? I don't recommend trying to type very fast while coding, because as you can see, I tried to type clear really fast, just one word, and I messed that up. Think of how many things you could mess up when you write like a 49-line program typing fast. If I did that, I probably would mess up every word, because as you can see, I just did one word and messed that up. So now let me go into multiplication. 25 to 50. And then division. My chair's creaking. Oh man. And then let's go with an exponent. So enter my first number. I don't know, I'll go 25. I'm trying to get it to 50. And as you can see, because of this if statement, we chose exponent, and it changed from enter your second number to the power of. I'm gonna say 2, because that'll bring it not to 50. I'm not smart. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will try my best to upload consistently for you. Cause if we go to my last video I posted, that was quite a while ago. Let me try to pull that up for you. Let's see. Let me quickly go to YouTube Studio to see which one I posted last. I'm not gonna bring this tab up. So my last video was how to make thousands of Robux on your Robux game that my friend actually did. So if I were to go to YouTube, wait for it to load, and then I go, oh yeah, and by the way, you should really check out this video, Sample of My Pasta by Bad Lip Reading. It makes no sense, but it's absolutely hilarious. So if I were to go to my channel, I posted my last video like almost a month ago, 3 weeks. So I'm gonna try to post consistently, but that always can't happen. So I appreciate your patience, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to check out my others. Goodbye.